to the Beef Brief. This is your host, Sarah Cover. And today we have a different topic. We have not done anything focusing on technology. So today I have Ty Roseberry with Merck Animal Health, and I'm excited to have him on here, really focusing on the technology that they have in collars and tags. So, Ty, welcome.
Yeah, Sarah, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. I'm Ty Roseberry, originally from Kearney, Nebraska. I grew up running a family cow-calf operation in the Sandhills of Nebraska, just north of Dunning. Went to college at the University of Nebraska and studied ag business and played baseball for the Huskers. So that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Now over here with Merck Animal Health, I've been here for about 2.5 years, working with the Vence product specifically.
I wish I was more familiar. I mean, I've got some background, but why don't you explain to us what Vince is?
Yep. So Vence is virtual fencing technology. So collars on cows is what you see. People use it to rotationally graze, exclude riparian zones. Really, the imagination is your limitation with this product.
Okay. So when did Vince start, or how long have they been using these collars?
17 is when Vence started originally, and then Merck Animal Health acquired Vence in 2022.
The uptick of people taking it on, I'm sure it's skyrocketing.
Yes, it is. It's expanded quite a bit. We're the leaders in the market right now, and we see us being in the forefront of the cattle business here over the next few years.
Is it just the collars, or do you have tags that can work like that as well?
No, so it's not. So I am just strictly Vence's its own portfolio, and it's just collars. It's just virtual fencing. So I don't really have any knowledge on the all. I mean, I have nothing that I would be able to talk about for you, though. I don't think anybody would want me to do that. So,
That's no problem. You mentioned that they use it for rotational grazing
yep,
and to fence out specific areas like waterways, things like
yep,
that that they don't want to tear up.
yep.
Have they been able to generate additional incomes by being able to, I'm just thinking like carbon credits, or, there might be some government NRCS programs.
There's different funding areas, and there's stuff that always pops up, all the way down from like Trout Unlimited projects to NRCS. It's recognized under the EQIP program now, so we do have
It
customers
is.
on that. Yep. And that started here last year, at the end of last year. But there is a bunch. I mean, it could be down to your local soil health coalition provides funds for a certain project. I mean, there's few and far between. I mean, there's stuff everywhere.
Interesting. So, I mean, you were talking about funding. Explain to me the cost, like the setup cost, and then how it works annually as well.
Yep. Yep. So our collars are in a $40 annual subscription model. Annual subscription gets you the collar, that gets you the herd manager software, rancher success rep, and then a $10 battery. So we say $50 a head annually, plus a base station. So our collars run off of what we call a base station, which is LoRaWAN technology and cellular backhaul. And those are $10,000 a piece. You buy those and you own it. What we do is we run an RF plan to see how many base stations you need. Typically, they cover anywhere from 5,000 acres all the way up to 20,000 acres. It just depends on your topography. So that's something we
Okay.
walk through as a current customer.
Okay. So that's one base station could cover up to that many acres.
Correct. Yep.
Do you have to change the batteries every year?
Yep. So you do. Our batteries right now last anywhere from 6 to 9 months. And that's something that we are working to improve. We are working on a new collar that you're going to see a year per battery, hopefully is what we're looking at
Yeah.
down the line.
Okay. So then you could just do it when you're pregging.
Correct. Yeah. So then it'd be once a year. Right now,
Okay.
it's usually collars go on in the spring or fall, and you either use it to summer graze or winter graze. And if you want to do both, customer will purchase another collar, and then they'll just put those on in the fall to get through the winter.
Okay. Yeah. So how often do they lose a collar?
Right now, as far as losing a collar, there are breakaway points on them. So if a cow gets hung up on a fence post, a tree, something they're rubbing on, we see that the retention rate on those collars are 95%, and that's including those ones that are supposed to break away, right? And then the system sends you an alert so you can go down and find that collar. I mean, you have 24/7 GPS on those collars. So if it does fall off and break, you're able to let us know. We send you a new connection mechanism. You can get that back on that cow.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them. They're pretty big. Are the next ones that are coming, will they be smaller?
They'll probably be just a little smaller, but if you look at competitors, we do have the smallest, I guess, one of the lightest collars on the market. They're just under 2 pounds. So, I mean, they may look somewhat bulky, but they are very lightweight.
Who are your competitors?
Competitors are Halter, Gallagher, and No Fence.
Okay. But they're so like these ranches that take on collars, they just have an exterior fence.
Correct. That's all you need is you do need an exterior fence when you use these collars, correct?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, most likely your neighbor's not using them, I would assume, right?
Yeah. We do
What
have
about
some neighbors that use, but yeah, no.
what about accessibility to get them? Because I talked to a big ranch that had a fire like a year ago and they wanted to do collars, but they just couldn't get the quantity that they were looking for.
Yep. Have unlimited inventory now. So, I mean, if someone contacts me and they need X amount of collars, we have the inventory to get ranchers collars.
Okay. Okay. So inventory is not an issue.
Yeah, inventory is not an issue for us now.
So walk through implementation, like the steps that it would take and how long it would take to get set up with these.
Yep. So implementation for us is usually I am the senior territory manager. So say if someone in Nebraska wanted to reach out about potentially getting collars, what would happen is we'd have just an initial meeting to where I'd walk through our capabilities, they'd walk through what they want out of the collars, and we'd come to an understanding and say, hey, yeah, this is going to work for your ranch. This is how it's going to work. Then from there, what we'd do is we'd get maps back from that ranch so we could run the RF plan for the base stations like I talked about earlier.
Hmm.
We'd get that back and then we'd do a second meeting to where we'd run through it. Hey, you need 2 base stations. You're going to get great coverage across the whole ranch. Let's walk through it again and make sure that we're all on the same page. Then from there, let's say we get the contract signed, and then our rancher success reps come over and they help that rancher train on the herd manager software. So they know how to put fence lines in. They have an understanding on what works, what doesn't. And then it usually takes about 2 weeks to get your collars and then about 6 weeks to get your base station. So from time of contract, we usually like to say about 2 months from that contract being signed, that ranch is going to be up and running.
So is this like an app on their phone that you can set the fences, or do you have a like a desktop computer?
Yep. So for us in our current state, you need to do all the changes are made on a desktop computer or a tablet. You're able to see everything on your phone, see fence lines. You're just not able to make changes to those fence lines and stuff like that. So if you're out in the field, you're able to pull your phone up on just the web app that you're able to see. You're just not able to make changes.
Okay, but everything's online.
Correct. Everything is online. We are in the process of coming out with an app. I think that should be here at some point next year.
Yeah, the technology advancements are quick, I'm sure.
They are, yep. And especially with a company like Merck Animal Health having the backing, and they're excited about the product as well. So we're really doing everything we can to push that technology forward.
For sure. Is there any advantage to marketing cattle, like feeder cattle that utilize collars?
I don't think
I,
so right now in the current
okay.
state. Probably not. Stuff like that. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can think about in the future that I think would make
Hmm.
sense, but I just think it's still too early with the technology for anything like that to be a huge factor.
So Ty, obviously this technology's been around for a while, but people are really, I feel like, starting to pick up on it and start utilizing and figuring out how to use it to their advantage. Do you have new technologies coming, whether it be a piece of equipment or just advancements in this current technology that you can talk about today?
Yes, we do. That's something to be out of look out for. You can visit our website at vencefence.com, and there'll be some big posts coming here over the next year.
Well, in my mind, just coming from the ranching side, is this tool could be used in so many different ways. And it's like, yes, once that technology is there, I think it will get to a point that people can't afford not to because of the information that they can gather and the way they can manage the animal that much better from a productivity and return standpoint.
100%. And that's something that we know as a company that we're doing everything we can to get it as fast as we can. And that's stuff that will be coming out in the future.
For sure. Great. Well, we're excited to hear the advancements. Is there something that I didn't ask you that you think the listeners would appreciate hearing?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I would say big use cases as current customers. I talked about rotational grazing. I talked about excluding areas. More return on investment that we're looking at right now is picking up lease acres that don't have great fencing and you don't want to replace the fencing. Reduced labor and time, increased stocking rate we've seen on multiple ranches. And then the last one I think about this technology right now is it's exciting. It's keeping the next generation on the ranch and keeping them excited about new technologies and new things coming.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that traditional ranching, there's just a lot of opportunities to increase productivity for sure. Great. Well, Ty, I learned a lot today. I know our listeners did too. Really appreciate you being on here. Yeah, you talked about the website, but if you guys have more questions, reach out. Look up Merck Animal Health and the Vence product. Correct? Correct.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. Well, Ty, thanks again. Listeners, I'm excited. Next month, we're actually going to have Joe Goggins on with Livestock Marketing Association and Common Ground Group. So please join us, check in with me on that, and we'll be in touch. Thanks, guys.